Dr.
Doctor
Stone. Thurman. So, what do you want to jump to? What do you want to jump to here? Because I think first thing I want to talk about the Chrome shit real quick.
I was not expecting what I was expecting at the end of that chapter, man. But yes, Chrome MVP.
Bruh. Like.
This man.
Yeah.
Let's first things first. Let's talk about the Kohaku's
Because it's Chrome. It's Chrome. I ship it.
As long as he doesn't run his mouth about Chrome, we'll be fine. But we're talking about Chrome.
Yeah, I thought I love it when there's moments like that where I literally for a second I was like, was that a translation issue? Was that like Manga Stream fucking up? It was weird, and then I was like, no, I just had to say that twice. Also, I don't know if it's just me. Kohaku specifically in that panel looks really extra cute. Is that just me? Look at this.
Yes.
I don't know. She her smallness is emphasized, and but I love the juxtaposition of small but could kick everyone's ass in that show. That's why I liked Rukia. But yeah, no. So let's move on to the Chrome shit. Here, what do you want to say first?
So that part was just actually funny. But my boy, it's just.
I really like how he's like, all right, I'm gonna make a fucking argument to you as to why you should accept science into your life, Tsukasa. Okay, here it comes.
You can change the color of
fucking
fire.
Flame color reactions. Listen, man, how cool is that? And I love the next panel where he's like, and I was just getting to the ramen and the cotton candy machine.
And what's funny, so what I do want to mention, however, is that it's been confirmed that Tsukasa knows that Senku's alive.
Yeah, we know this. It'd be stupid if he didn't, because that was I remember that as specifically, they invaded the fucking town and fought Senku. It'd be real stupid if he didn't, which is why there was that whole what, and the kind of weirdness in those last couple chapters where it was they were acting like I don't know if some of his men, I still think that there's just a lack of communication among his men, because they were like, oh, he's visiting the grave, but it's they literally saw Senku at the village when they attacked, so whatever. But no, but I like this line about oh, I had just gotten to the ramen. What that essentially confirms to me is that Chrome literally just started telling the entire story, and then Senku showed up and he made ramen for everybody, and it was great. And then he made this one guy soda. And Tsukasa's just what the fuck? And I do love how I also love the fact that they do this thing where he that they drop him. And of course, again, I'm not worried. The amount of fake out deaths they've done for Chrome, I'm like, he's not gonna fucking die. But I do love I love Tsukasa's calmness, where he's just well, he's not gonna if that didn't make him talk, nothing's gonna make him talk. So whatever. It makes him a real interesting villain. It's part of him doesn't want to kill, or maybe it's you know how because there's this moral separation when I imagine he doesn't feel as bad crushing stone statues, because to him that's not technically killing. He doesn't see it as killing. They're already dead. But maybe if it's an alive person, he has a harder time killing. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean,
well, I'm pretty sure if I remember, wasn't there a part in the beginning of the manga where Tsukasa didn't want to kill Senku? He was practically begging Senku to renounce science. He was I don't want to kill you, but you got to renounce science. Yeah.
He'll only kill if
he believes it's really, really necessary. I don't think he's a murderer at heart, because think about what he's against. He's against people that have ravaged the planet with war, through technology. So I think he wouldn't want to be a killer. You know what I'm saying?
Kids next door.
Where did that come from?
Because he wants to kill adults.
Oh my god. That's funny. Well, anyway, the crossover in the future. But another thing I have to ask is, what is this man's arrows made out of? Are we talking Hawkeye carbon fiber shit? Because it caught a human. I don't know if that happens.
Well, I mean, it went through his clothes.
No, bitch. No, that's not how it works. It's okay, though. It's fiction. But the little asshole in me was I see what's going on. Although Chrome is a small little bitch, so maybe he's like 90 pounds. I don't fucking.
Some aspects of shonen in a shonen series.
Nah,
No matter how
I'm okay with it. It actually doesn't bother me. I just wanted to be an asshole, CinemaSin style. But yeah, I love that Tsukasa. I mean, is it? And correct me if I'm wrong. If I misunderstood this, is Tsukasa just letting him go? Like, because he gave him a bridge.
I wouldn't say that. It looks like.
But he gave him a bridge and said, "There's no point in trying to ask him anymore because he's not going to tell us." So yeah, I couldn't tell if that was him basically being like, "Well, whatever." Like, what do you think?
I could see it being more of like a hostage situation because, I mean, Tsukasa apparently isn't stupid. Like he even says that we science and stuff. So what I'm assuming is that he respected his resolve.
Yep.
Not saying anything.
Yeah.
So, but I doubt he would just say, "Oh, you can go ahead. You can talk. Go away."
You're probably right. They're probably just gonna keep him. Because I was even saying like, well, that would be stupid. But like, yeah, now that I'm looking at the bridge, it's probably they're probably just gonna collect him and then put him somewhere. But let's talk about the fucking I always forget his name. Ukyo. Him, like, bro, when I read that, I was like, Tsukasa, you gotta get a handle on your men. They're betraying you faster than you're getting them.
I was like, wait a minute.
God damn.
A revolution already that's not even started by Senku? What is this?
Well, here's what it is, man. Like, because this is just like basic fucking math right now, okay? If you're on a team of people who's like, all right, we're gonna Native American the fuck out of this. We're gonna be like, we're gonna hunt. We're gonna stay to like caveman ideals and not like, we're gonna stay in the nature and not build out from that. How many humans that do you know that would turn down like, I don't know, TV, a car, fucking music, good food, Coca-Cola? Like, I feel like he's just inevitably gonna have a bunch of people betraying him because they look over to the other side like, oh shit, they have cell phones over there? You know what I mean? Like, it's just gonna keep happening. And that's the funny part. I don't know if Tsukasa realizes that most people want that shit. That's kind of... So Senku actually has quite the advantage when it comes to getting people on his side.
He has the incentives.
Yeah, and so, I mean, I'm sure Yukio has something he wants. And I'll be interested to see what it is. But at the same time...
I'm pretty sure...
Go ahead.
I'm pretty sure for story's sake, there's going to be characters who actually agree with Tsukasa.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, for the most part, I feel like most people who actually enjoy their modern lives are going to be like, fuck yeah, everyone over to Senku.
Exactly. And, yeah. Well, now, so here's what I'm guessing. I think the people that Tsukasa will be left with will be like total meatheads, okay? So think people that would actually fare... So, like, here's a good example, right? You know how, like, with the way that the world has turned, nerdiness and geekiness is cool now. You know what I mean? So like there was that Back to the Future joke where like they were made fun of the kid for being a nerd, but now he's your boss and he's paying you. You see what I'm saying? Like there was that joke where the nerds are rising up because technology is taking over, right? So I could see there being a chunk of people like meatheads, people that aren't smart in the brain but they have a lot of brawn, who maybe resent technology for that reason. You know, like people that are like, well, man, I wish that for the good old days when strength was all that mattered and you didn't have to be smart, you know what I mean? So I assume a lot of his people are just going to be dumb meatheads, which is, because you look in the background, like the background characters of Tsukasa's army, they look like that. They look like the strong idiot type, you know what I mean? So I think that's going to be the main people that stay with him, people that are like, fuck yeah, fuck technology, I want to be able to just rule with my strength. So that's what I assume the kind of people Tsukasa's going to keep. Because look at Yukio. He's a smart dude. He's not just a muscle head. He's smart. He's very, very intelligent. And, he's witty. Like, people like that, so smart, nuanced, deep people, are going to inevitably go over to Senku's side. Because smart people aren't going to be like, yeah, I would love a world that's just ruled by brute force. Like... So yeah, that's why. So like, it's literally going to be a brain versus brawn. I think at the end of the day, the people that Tsukasa is going to have left are going to be people that are just muscle heads. And now there might be a smart person or two, and then the author would probably give like a good reason as to why like they hate technology. Like, I'm sure maybe he'll find someone who was like, whose parents were like a victim of, or maybe their entire home country was a victim of like of like war-torn shit. Like, you know, in Iron Man, when like, you know, Iron Man, like Tony Stark would like meet people that were like fucked up by his weapons. You know what I mean? Like the weapons that he developed. Like I imagine there's probably some people that like saw technology destroy their country. You know what I'm saying? So that maybe I could see people, but I think for the most part, the smart people are going to go over to Senku, just inevitably. And that's interesting.
People with above average.
Yeah, for real. So I guess backtracking to the blueprints and the wax making shit. I always love seeing how excited Senku is. He's building the blueprints here. He made the water wheel into like a thing that they could like it looks like one of those blades. I'm trying to figure out what it is. It like spins the thing when you have a blade, and then you can move it to make like precise cuts.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck that's called. I wouldn't say it looks familiar, but
well, it reminds me of you know those like spinning things when people are making like pottery and like the pottery spins.
Yeah,
kind of reminds me of that. So yeah, I assume he's using the force of the waterfall to spin it.
Yeah.
And then of course, they like this is not like about the series, right? They're using what they have. So they've made the oven before, but it's springtime now. So they're like, fuck the oven, we'll use it for the car.
Yeah.
It's just great, man. Let's see here. And then skipping.
It's very interesting to see like the scientific
process.
Like, yeah, it's very interesting.
Agreed.
Very
brain.
What's the word? Informative.
Yes. Now let's just skip right to the end and look at the thing that they have made. It actually does remind me. Well, okay. Remember when I said they were gonna make a Flintstones car? I wasn't totally off. I had some people in the Amino this morning, basically being like, "You called it, man." But it reminds me of something, and they actually make this comparison in the final page of the chapter. But it reminds me, have you ever seen those like old things that would be on trains? Like you'd put it on a track, and it'd be like people would be riding on it, just like a fucking plank of plywood, and they're just riding on the track.
Yeah.
Like, so I mean, like, here, David, what do you think of this? That's the car they made. It's steam engine, and then it's just, I mean, it's got to be bare basic, but like, hey, if it moves, it is moving by itself.
Holy fucking shit.
So it's gonna.
Honestly,
go ahead.
That really caught me off guard. I was expecting like something like seats on it, but I mean, this is good. Because I honestly wasn't. I completely forgot that trains were like a thing. because like old school trains, because we don't really use like the old
steam engines or whatever. Yeah, well, so what's funny? So go ahead.
So I completely. So my mind didn't speed taking over here. My mind didn't think about like actual like train stuff. I was thinking like maybe like the first automobile, like
so here's what you got to remember. They have limited resources. That they're not going to build unnecessary things like seats, you know what I mean? Like Senku's not going to build seats if they don't need seats. It has a function, and its function is to get them places quicker and to help them carry shit. So Senku isn't someone who's going to be like, yeah, we'll add seats and seat belts and we'll have some fucking speakers over there. Like that's not what he's going to do. Like for now it's going to be bare basics until they can get shit like like an assembly line, factories, and until they get to shit like that where like making shit is easier, or until they have an abundance of supplies. Right now they had to repurpose the fucking oven to make the engine. like they're not gonna be like, and also let's make some leather upholstery seats. But what I do want to bring up is once again I'd like to praise the pacing of this manga. It's fucking perfect because
unlike Promised Neverland.
You guessed where I was going with this. No, so like your average Promised Neverland chapter, you'll get maybe like two people talking about, hey, we have to defeat this guy. You're right, we do have to defeat this guy. Let's shoot him for a while. Let's shoot him. And then they'll be like, oh, hey, we shot him enough there and it made him stagger. Well, in the next chapter, we'll keep shooting him, but in a different way. That's the whole chapter, right? In this one, you literally have them building an entire car and the whole shit with Chrome, and it didn't feel rushed at all. there's something about how you can write. If you're an author, you can write in such a way that packs so much shit into a chapter without feeling like you're rushing or anything. Because this felt perfect. And like this is what we mean about when we read a Dr. Stone chapter. So much shit is happening. Like you feel like you got your money's worth, depending on if you just read the translations. I'm certainly going to buy it when it comes out in America. But you've gotten your time's worth for the chapter. You know what I mean? Like a week isn't just like, okay, they've progressed one step in this chapter. Like they built if this was Promised Neverland, they would have built the tire. It would have been like, all right, we finished the tire. Next chapter, we'll work on the fucking wooden plank above the tire. Like it's goddamn, dude. So that's what I respect the pacing like hella. And
Hashtag.
Okay,
It's
Chloe.
better than Promised Neverland.
yeah, I thought you'd like that, David.
You normally shit on Chloe, though.
Hella. Now also let's just respect that the one part of his little fantasy from last chapter that did come true, he kept the Senku license plate. Fuck yeah. Look at that Senku license plate. Senku, which, you know what that gave me vibes of? You know in One Piece when Frankie would make the Battle Frankie 1, the Battle Frankie 2?
Yeah.
Like, are we going to have, like later down this, I feel like 50 chapters from now, when they're like, all right, time to make a much better car. Like, this is when they do the seats and, like, the metal around it and shit. That'll be the Senku 2.
Hashtag Senku Cross Frankie.
They'd probably be into each other.
I'm gonna need that crossover. It's hard to crossover with Shinku no Soma.
Oh my god, Frankie comes into Dr. Stone world. Beautiful. But yeah, Industrial Revolution, man, it's happening. Like, it's crazy. So, I mean, that's basically everything to discuss for this chapter. You have any final thoughts or predictions?
Nah, man, that's great.
Oh my god. Yeah, I hope to see. I'm not sure. I like the conversations with Tsukasa because like I like the part where he's like, "Hey man, you know, we're not fucking against all." Like it actually reminds me a lot of conservative ideals where it's like, "Yo, we're not against all science. We just want it to stop at some point." And it's like, I don't know. It's tough because everything like it depends. Like, do you want it to have a line or do you not? Like, so my line when it comes to science, I think everyone has a line. My line for science is, don't make robots that want to kill us. Don't like replace your body so much with robot shit. Oh my god. Don't replace your body with robot shit so much that you've literally not a human anymore. You know what I mean? Like, keep our humanity.
Fucking robots is okay.
I mean, if you really want to, like, here's the thing: buying a sex robot to me is the equivalent of like buying a boob mouse pad at like a Comic-Con, right? So like I've never been able to buy one of those because I just know, like, literally the second you pay money for a boob mouse pad, you've just given up on ever having a girlfriend. Like, it's just like there's no reason to try. Like that is the you have signed your death warrant at that point. You're done. It's the same thing, but like,
Could you imagine the maintenance and that? Cleaning up your own jizz?
It's like the triple that with a sex robot. You buy a sex robot, done. Dating life over. Don't even try. GG.
And wouldn't you fuck Bender from Futurama?
No. Ew. Why?
I mean, wouldn't most females?
No, Thurman, you're stretching, bro. You're stretching.
What's he doing?
He asked if you'd fuck Bender from Futurama, which is a really stupid question because he's not attractive. Like, you could have picked so many attractive robots.
There's a higher chance of me fucking Rosie from Jetsons than Bender.
Ugh. God, it's so weird. I'm thinking about it. Anyway, tune in next chapter when Senku makes a sex robot, and peace!